Okay. Good evening, good morning. Welcome to you all. My name is Yogesh. So we can start today with maybe brief introductions from everyone. Your name, which city you are from, what you do, what made you come to this session. That's all. Who wants to start? Rupali.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Rupali. I am from Navi Mumbai. And profession wise, I am also into healing modality. I am a Zen counselor. I am a Heal Your Life teacher, and I also uh, use art as a therapy or as a tool. And I'm facilitating a book reading circle for a year now. So, yeah, and what brought me to the session? I'm always curious when Yogesh is, expressing or conducts such sessions because definitely they add a lot of value and meaning because he always emphasizes on going within. I think that's the power we all of us have. So I love these sessions. So, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Good. Who's next? Anil?
So, I'm Anil Bhatia. I am from Ahmedabad. I run a digital content creation business. I joined this group because I saw one of the posts on Facebook by your sir. And as Yogesh sir was a brand in Signet, I blindly enrolled in this session.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but you joined last time also, so you know. Good. Thanks for coming again. Who next? Meenakshi.
Hi everyone, this is Meenakshi here. I am from Mumbai and I have been actually part of Rupali's reading circle for a very long time. So she suggested this and I found it interesting, the topic, the self. So here I am.
Yeah. Good. Welcome. Welcome. Thanks,
Thank
Rupali,
you.
for recommending. Who else? Yeah, Neetaji.
Okay, I'm Neeta Kulkarni. I'm from Mumbai. I'm retired teacher trainer. I've also been a part of Rupali's book reading circle for 1 year now, and I found it very eye-opening. So here also I joined here because I need that opening up. I need different thoughts. I want to know what other people think and what are their thought processes. So I joined here.
Good. You are curious about
Yeah.
many things. What subject did you teach?
I was a teacher trainer, so I was teaching science and maths method, how to teach science, maths, and then evaluation, how to take exams, tests, all that, and research, how to conduct research, how to do research. Those were my subjects.
Okay, interesting. What about you, Meenakshi? Did you mention?
I'm a chartered accountant based in Mumbai.
Okay, okay, okay. See, so now it must be busy time for you for the returns
Yes,
filing and all.
yes, it has started, but not as much. The pressure will start building.
Yes. Good. Raj?
Hey, good morning, good evening to everybody. I am Raj. I am based in Dallas, Texas. I'm a little under weather, so I'm not going to come on video today. But I have been attending this particular sessions for a while now. I think all the sessions, I think, as Rupal said, have been very interesting and self-reflective. So I have known Yogesh for a while now. We are fellow Zen counselors. So yeah, I think he's been a good guide for me as well. So yeah, I look forward to attending these particular sessions and see okay what comes next. What's a gem today we are going to find.
Thank you. Raj is a senior person in IT industry. And yeah, over to you, Siddharth.
Yeah, hi, good evening. This is Siddharth Dwarkani. I stay in Thane outside of Bombay. Uh, I am a certified financial planner. Right now, I am awaiting my SEBI license for practicing. Uh, I am a commerce graduate and an MBA from IIM by education. Uh, I joined here because I have been intending to join for last couple of months, but due to work, I wasn't be able to join. And now that I am at home and awaiting my license, and hence have some time on hand, which is why I thought this would be the best time to figure out what Yogesh does here, and let's take it on from there.
Good. I'm so happy to see you and that you are joining here. Thank you so much. Arindam, your
Hi,
turn.
hi all. I am not going to uh, talk about my testimonials. However, I am here because I like this session. Yogesh has always been a personal friend, so he is doing anything uh, is attractive enough. And yeah, quite introspective. Yes, yeah, that's it. That's it.
Hmm. Arindam has too many things that he can talk about himself, but that will take entire session. So right now,
No, no. I don't know anything. I'm nobody.
you can see the way he looks, you know what kind of person he may be. So
Looks can be deceiving.
anyway,
Don't go by the looks.
no worries. I am happy that you are able to join today. So coming to my introduction, Yogesh Lokhne, I'm based in Pune now. And now I'm organizing these sessions, Zen Dialogues. I have been a student of Zen since 2004, 5, maybe 2003, 4. That is the time I got introduced to Zen. Through some means, through some ways, through my personal life situation, etc. I started exploring spirituality and Buddhism and Zen and everything, and I was so attracted to it. I went so deep into it. Um, I meditated and I studied a lot, and it was really a good journey. In fact, I can say I was living two lives in parallel. One is the outside life, like going to office, and being who I am out to the outside world. But in my inner life, I had my own separate life as a student of Zen and learning uh, what it means to be a human being and what we are here for. We are just born, and once we get into the school, there is just one project after another. Fifth standard, sixth standard, seventh standard, 10th, 12th, graduation, post graduation, job, marriage. It's just one project after another, and nobody tells you why you have to do all these projects. And not only do the projects, you have to succeed in them. So much stress. You have to earn money, you have to fulfill so many responsibilities, and then there is no time to do anything. So sometimes on Saturday, Sunday, we may take a break, travel somewhere, hoping that on the beach or on the mountain, we may be able to see something different. But our troubles, they follow us. Wherever we are, our mind is there. So troubles and the mind keeps running. So hardly we get to know any moment of peace or clarity or why we are doing. We just have to do the next thing. There is someone else who has joined, or is it another one? Samsung. So Samsung has also joined. I like it. Mr. Samsung, SMA. Can you disclose yourself? Let me see. I must unmute. Life is full of surprises, and anybody can come in anytime. Any surprise can come in. Hello, are you there? So, I don't know, we'll wait, but let me carry on. You know, the number of our roles, they keep increasing. As a child, you are just a child. Then when you go into a school, you become a student. So that's the first role you get. Yes. You raised your hand. You want to say something? We can't hear you. You're on mute. Ah, Dr. Ashok. Wow, so nice. Now we know who you are, but can you switch on your video? Can you join us? Ah, there you are. Good evening, good evening. आप mute पे हैं. Mute. Can you unmute? I guess he might be having some issue in connecting. Okay. So if he is able to connect, we will involve him. So we were discussing about our roles. So you become a student, and then as you grow up, you become college student, and you become college student, and maybe you take some other roles. You become a friend to someone, or if you are taking some, uh, you become ill, you become a patient to some doctor. And once you pass out, you get a job. So you become an employee to a company, you have a boss, and someday you get married, you become a spouse, a parent, right? So the number of roles, they keep increasing, and then these roles start conflicting with each other, right? You are in office, but you also need to be at home, or you're not well at home, but some urgent customer is calling you in the office. So all our conflicts actually start with some of these roles. Have you noticed something like that? How many roles do you play in your life right now? If you want to count them, take a moment and count or make a list of all the roles. If you have got a piece of paper, pen, pencil, something like that, you can um, make a list of all the roles you're playing. Let's do that. And meanwhile, we can get the introductions. Hi, Apurva. Uh, yes,
Sorry for late. I was busy.
no worries. Please introduce yourself, name, where you're from, what you're doing.
Hi, I am Apurva. I am from Hyderabad, working for Jackson Company, having child. Everything
Uh,
is good.
good. Apurva is my sister, my cousin. So, Ashokji, are you there? Are you able to speak? Anyway, let's start. Arindam, how many roles you are playing?
Good question. I have stopped playing roles.
Okay.
No roles for me anymore. Um, yeah, I only am obliged to play the role of a devotee. That's it.
Role of a
That's
devotee.
it. Yeah, that's it. A sincere devotee, a sincere follower of spirituality, and that's the role. I'm content with that role.
Okay. So no other roles you have?
Uh, no, I have played multiple and many roles, but those were not me. Um, I have been, those roles are basically manifestation of expectation of society. Probably I am speaking gibberish. However, I have realized that all the roles that we play since childhood, okay, uh, since childhood, you don't know what to do, what not to, you just follow. However, when you develop the sense of this or that, even then, as you have pointed out some names, we keep on following on that role path. And then at the end of the day, we realize that those are not me. And we'll end up being frustrated, being burnt out, etc., etc. However, please appreciate that these are the results or the manifestations of trying to be somebody who you are not. So, yeah, uh, somebody, someone can be helpless, someone could be trapped. We all have been. I mean, at least I can speak of myself. I have been. However, at this point in time, I do not look back. I always uh, look forward. So at this point in time, I can say that I have only one role, that is to attract his attention, the universe's attention. That's it. That's it.
Okay, good. So it's like I was asking that, like for example, I am a father. I have two daughters. I am a son because I'm a mother. I have a mother. Then I am also a guide. Like I have taken up this new role for myself as a guide. Then I am a friend. I am maybe some other roles, but these are some of the primary roles that I am playing nowadays. So maybe that's the way I'm going to ask you. Maybe Rupali, how many roles you are currently involved in or playing actively?
4 to 5. Yeah.
4 to 5. Good. Uh, Meenakshi ji,
Around 5 to 6.
5 to 6 roles come to your mind. Good. Anil,
So 9 roles.
9 roles. Wow. Neetaji,
7, 8 roles.
7, 8 roles. Apurva,
Up to 7.
good. Raj,
Well, every moment there's a new role, right? I create. So yeah, any action before we take, right, is a new role which I tend to acquire. So yeah,
yeah.
it is multiple within a 30-minute span.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's okay. We change roles moment to moment. But then you are not the president, you're not prime minister. That's not one of your roles. You're not the doctor. So that's also not one of your roles. It's simple. We play certain roles. We are always shifting from one to the other. Siddharth, how about you?
I think at this moment, 6.
Yeah, about 6. So yeah, roughly I think 6 to 10 roles we keep playing. Less than that becomes Arindam is lucky. He has just one role, but I'm sure he has other. He is also a son. Maybe after some time he will remember that role and say, "No, I have to go now."
Uh,
So
Yogesh,
yeah,
I would like to add by role, if you mean definitions, yeah, I have been a father. I
no,
am
no,
all definitely
right now, yeah,
right now. Uh, yeah, mm, son, of course, because I have a mother and I'm responsible to her. I have my wife uh, and 3 children, wives rather, and 3 children, uh, and various roles. I mean, if you ask names, yeah, father, son, manager, uh, employee, whatever. I mean, but bottom line, at the end of the day, these are all like ornaments. This is not you. I have realized that, and I'm speaking from that realization that definition to me, is a limitation. Uh, that's the Western concept of touch and feel. Life is not touch and feel. Life is about being. Now, uh, yeah, you be a father, you be a good husband, or you be a good manager, or you would be a good employee. But at the end of the day, you are not happy. One is not happy. True happiness lies in breaking the shackles of definition. That's it.
yeah. All right. So the point is, we are playing so many roles, but how many of these roles we are playing? Dr. Ashok says he is watching only. Okay, you can watch. So which roles are you playing actively and which roles you are playing passively? or yeah, which roles you are more active in, like in terms of more time you give to those roles compared to the others? In which roles you are more active most of the time? Are you able to figure out from your list of roles that you have made? Does it happen to you that you are playing one role and someone else calls? For example, I may be in this session right now, so I am in the role of a trainer or a guide or whatever. And then my daughter comes and says, okay, help me with something. So then there is a pull for the other role of that of a father. She doesn't know. She is approaching me from the daughter and father relationship, but I am here playing another role. So I feel a bit of stress, or I may get annoyed, or I may get irritated, frustrated about it. And I may snap at her and say, okay, I'll come later. And she feels upset. Okay. So one role is trying to conflict with another role. Have you faced any such situation?
Happens all the time, especially at home, right? When you are working from home,
Yeah.
right? Happens all the time. Has to happen. Has to happen. That is the way it is.
Yeah.
So I think nothing wrong in that. I think, as you said, if we realize the fact that it's only a role conflicting with the other, then our responses might change. But yeah, I think even then we need to prioritize one over the other at that instant in time, right? So today, right now, if I'm talking to you and suddenly, as you said, my daughter were to come here and bring me my dinner, I might, tell thank you, or I might tell her to keep it somewhere else, right? But at that second of time, I am prioritizing her. I might not even tell
Yeah.
you to, wait or tell you. I might not even realize that I didn't tell you to kindly give me, excuse me, or whatever, right? It happens. But to prioritize, and I think that is where intrinsically we have our priorities ready,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It happens all the time.
Yes.
And important point is to be aware that it is happening. Otherwise, you kind of switch and you don't know from which role you're acting. Anyone else? Yeah, Rindan.
No, I would like to draw our attention to one question. Why are we here in the first place? Are we playing a role? Uh, or it is something else that is attracting us to this assembly? Um, number one. Point two is, are we, do we consider ourselves that limited that we are defined by roles? I mean, I'm asking. I simply want to know. And that's it.
And sure, we can ask others to respond to your question if they feel like it. They can answer. And maybe we can ask the other question also if who wants to.
Yeah.
Apurva,
So
have you? Yeah, Siddharth,
Just I played role like that. My
tell
daughter
me.
came, she's
Hmm.
asking me, and I was like, "You go, beta." So just she came, she saw.
So which role responded to her?
I am like right now also I am feeling to do something for her, but this is also important. Actually, this is for myself. I want to do because
Yeah.
I can't handle myself. So for better for future, better for her, I wanted to do something for myself.
Yeah. So you came here as a learner, as a student, maybe as right?
Yeah.
And for that moment, you want to switch off your mother role,
Yeah. First time
but
I have to, because
you
I
cannot,
did
right?
that only. I am going through that only. So
Hmm.
now I have to work on myself.
Okay. Neetaji, any comments?
Yeah, I think as Arindam said or asked, we are defined by our roles at that moment. In whichever moment, if I am a mother to my daughter, that time I'm her mother. But if at the same time my father requires me to be a daughter, I will have to switch the roles and there will be little bit of stress.
Okay. Everybody is having the same issue. My daughter just called me now. She says transfer 100 rupees to her. So, what you are discussing is happening right now with everyone. Would give me a moment. But I heard what you are saying, Neetaji. It's happens to everyone. Anyone else wants to say something, Anil?
Sorry, one of the scenarios like I'm a vendor to my client, so I will respond him differently, and my vendor's client is me, so I will respond him differently. So that's a shift between the roles.
Okay, can you elaborate a bit?
No, voice is not very clear. I'm sorry.
So for, for my client, I am a vendor, and for my vendor, I am a client to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is a switching of roles between each other. So whatever
Yes.
communication is done between client and me, I am on the receiving side, and my vendor is on the receiving side when I am communicating with him.
Yes, yes. You're absolutely right. In fact, I see that very, very exaggerated way in a sales hierarchy. I used to be a part of sales meetings and all. So the top boss used to come and shout at all the VPs. You guys are not doing anything. Targets are not being met. And he used to really take our trip on it. What did we do as VPs? We used to call our team meetings and we used to shout at them. What you guys are doing? You're not achieving your targets. Blah blah. What they will do, they will go to their juniors and. So we are all in a role which is complementary to our boss also, maybe as you said, client vendors. Situation keeps changing and it creates a lot of situations where it may cause stress to us. Now, unless we understand how the dynamics of roles work and we are in a different role, it becomes very tough to just switch so quickly. Any example? Maybe Raj or Oops, anybody wants to talk?
No, I think pretty consistent with what everybody else has said. Uh, so there is a role which we take. I mean, you can name it, but I think you can say I'm a doer, right? So the point is you're doing something. So I think the role, the moment you um switch into an action, right? You get to a role of a doer, and then that doer would have a sub aspect of it, saying that "Yeah, I'm doing this as a father, daughter, child, blah 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 blah." Right? It's basically getting into that aspect of a doer. Yeah, and the whole waking time is we are doing something, right? Or thinking, listening also is part of our doing. So at the high level, I think that's what the identity, and the identity has an action to take, is a doer. So yeah, some rambling here, but yeah, I think that's what I was.
Any points from you, Minakshi?
Um, I I agree with everybody else, but also like I think somebody already mentioned that playing role also, but uh, when we make the switch, to some extent, we also make a switch personality wise, like the way if I were to talk to a child, I'll be more adult, matured, responsible, as opposed to maybe when I'm playing the role of a daughter. I may be responsible, but there'll be this uh, element of a child because they're my
Yeah.
parents. Again, which again, like a child will be looking at me for protection or as a caregiver or anything. So I'll even, personality switch in the sense where I may be more open with my vulnerability, maybe with my parents or maybe with my close friends. But when it comes to somebody who's depending on me, I'll switch on a role as if somebody who knows it all or maybe has everything in control, even though I don't.
Yeah. Do
Yeah,
you
so
do this? Yeah,
I
just a
also wanted to,
moment. Yeah,
yeah.
please.
So something very similar thought process came to my mind as well. That no matter what role we are into, but we are not responding equally. So sometimes we are reacting, sometimes we are responding. Like you said, because of stress, or maybe we are not able to manage. Or like Minakshi added, in some roles I might be vulnerable. Maybe the people I'm close to, I'm going to react. But the people I'm conscious about, my work, my job, I think I'm going to be more mindful or more responsive. So I think we are not moderate or equal at in whatever role we are. That up and down happens. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good insight you guys brought up. Like Meenakshi said, that there is a change in personality depending on which role you are in. As a daughter, she may be in a different personality with her parents, but as a parent herself, she might be in a different personality for her child. So these roles, they become automatic for us. As you said, Rupali, that we become reactive in it. It becomes a habit to play that role. Right? And some of these habitual tendencies, they lead to some of our problems also. If we are not aware that this habitual tendency is what is creating the issue. Sometimes it happens, yeah. Take a look at all your roles that you have listed down. Have you listed it down or is just in your mind? Okay,
Listed
maybe
it.
you can list it down if it is 5 roles or 6 roles. In front of each of those roles, write down the typical expectations that you have or others have from you in that role. It's just self exploration. It's going to be fun exercise. In the roles you are playing, what do others expect from you in that role? Maybe just one expectation each is okay. Maybe you can also add how much of those expectations are you fulfilling? 100%, 50%, 10%, 80%. It's just a guess, but your feel for it. Now take any role in which you face certain stress or conflict, or you feel burdened or suffocated or stressful, take any role and see what the other person would rate you as in terms of fulfillment of expectations. So, for instance, if I consider my role as a spouse, as a husband, I may think I am 80% good husband. My wife may think I am 50% good husband. So, or forget 50%, 20%.
So, I think if I were to answer this, I would still consider my role as a son to be slightly more stressful, simply because it's a long distance relationship now, right? With my kid, with my wife, or even with my sister, right? Not so with my sister, but at least with my wife and kids, I still see what they're doing, right? What shape they are in, right? So whatever their requirements are from that point of view, I can still prioritize. ठीक है अभी उतना जरूरी नहीं है करेंगे वैसा right but with
Hmm.
parents especially when they are not in front of you you actually any phone call might trigger panic so to say right uh, and I have seen it right when it's a long distance relationship parents hide something from you you hide something from parents right वो होता है right so all the more reason whenever I'm talking to them I don't know कि वो लोग जो बोल रहे हैं पूरा बता रहे हैं नहीं बता रहे हैं right so I think there it's becomes more of a challenge in the sense कि अभी करना है अब अगर टीवी में चैनल नहीं आ रहा है राइट तो क्या कर सकते हैं हम राइट सो आई कैन टेल देम ये बटन दबाओ वो बटन दबाओ टाटा स्काई का ये दबा दो फिर भी नहीं हो रहा तो व्हाट डू यू डू राइट या फोन यू नो मॉम कॉल्स मी कि पापा का फोन में आवाज नहीं आ रहा है तो व्हाट डू यू डू सो देन सब कुछ छोड़ छाड़ के पहले वही काम करना पड़ता है एंड देन कि वट एवर स्टेप्स यू आर अवेयर ऑफ उससे भी नहीं हुआ देन कि काम नहीं हुआ So I think, so far as I am concerned, I think more of such experiences come with parents, especially because they don't stay with you together.
Yeah. Your parents, it's all different. Everyone parents are different.
I agree, especially, especially these days when a bit of tech savviness kind of differs
Yeah.
between people, right? I know they are not tech savvy. They try their best to be as tech savvy as possible, but नहीं होता, राइट एंड वहां पे बहुत सारे इश्यूज हो जाते हैं राइट फोन काम नहीं कर रहा है इसको दवाई का ऑर्डर देना है दवाई नहीं आया क्या करना है टाटा स्काई काम नहीं कर रहा है ना वॉशिंग मशीन काम नहीं कर रहा है क्या करें तो
So
वो
you
सारी
are saying in a way that for you as a son, there are some expectations from your parents कि भी कुछ नहीं
कुछ
चल
तो
रहा है,
ज्ञान
टीवी
देगा
नहीं चल रहा है, तो ये आके सॉल्व करेगा.
कुछ तो करेगा मतलब आ तो नहीं पाएगा बट एटलीस्ट
हाँ.
कुछ तो बताएगा ऑन ऑन द फ्लाई कि ये बटन दबा दो हो
Right,
जाएगा
right, right.
बट 90% ऑफ टाइम वो बटन दबाने से नहीं होता है तो देन आई हैव टू टेल देम कि सामने वाले को बुला लो
Hmm.
है ना एंड देन आई कीप थिंकिंग कि सामने वाला आया कि नहीं आया सामने वाला घर पे है कि नहीं है क्या हो रहा है राइट एंड देन 15 मिनट बाद आई कॉल हुआ क्या बोला हाँ हो गया तो ठीक है बट नहीं हुआ रहेगा देन फिर देन आई थिंक देन देल से कि छोड़ दो ठीक है कल देखेंगे है
Hmm.
ना बट फिर वो दिमाग में यू नेवर नो कभी कभार चल दिमाग में चलता रहता है कभी नहीं चलता दिमाग
Right.
तो वो
ये
एक
दिमाग
चैलेंज है
में बैकग्राउंड अपने जो मोबाइल में बैकग्राउंड एप्स होते हैं ना वैसे चलते रहता है अपना.
वो
सम
चलता
रोल्स
रहेगा
आर ऑलवेज इन द
एग्जैक्टली
बैकग्राउंड.
एग्जैक्टली वो चलता रहेगा फिर अचानक से या तो मेरे को याद आएगा कि 1 घंटे बाद अचानक से स्ट्राइक करेगा अरे पूछ तो नहीं हुआ कि नहीं हुआ फाइनली या फिर कभी
राइट.
कभी स्ट्राइक नहीं करता बिकॉज इफ यू आर ट्रैवलिंग यू आर ऑन सम अदर कॉल देन योर माइंड गोज समवेयर एल्स देन विथ मी आई हैव सीन अ लॉट मैं कभी कभार एकदम दिमाग से उड़ ही जाता है कि पूछना है कि हुआ क्या फाइनली देन 2 दिन बाद फिर वापस से जब बात होगी फिर मेरे को अचानक से याद आएगा अरे इसका क्या हुआ तो वो एक चैलेंज है. तो to me I think a son or a child in a long distance relationship is more of a stress than many other things.
Hmm. No, the stress is because of that background thing which is going on. It is unclosed. That issue
Exactly,
is not closed in the head.
exactly.
Right. So I see that very much in mothers because if, as soon as their child is in the school or in the office or some other city, they are constantly thinking कि वो क्या कर रही होगी या क्या कर रहा है वो constantly background में चल रहा है तो half the energy goes in that only.
And now more so with grandchildren, I think I'll tell you what. Today my kids' schools reopened. राइट. ठीक है. तो दिन में माई मॉम कॉल्ड अप, बोलो स्कूल चली गई, ठीक से गई नहीं गई, क्या हुआ. देन शी सेड कितना थक के आएंगी वे बेचारी. राइट. 1.5 month का ब्रेक हो गया बीच में. आज स्कूल खुला. तो द फर्स्ट थिंग इज कि दिन भर नॉन एसी रूम में बैठेंगी, क्या करेंगी, इतनी गर्मी है ऐसे भी बॉम्बे में, तो थक के आएंगी. दैट वाज द फर्स्ट थिंग शी सेड. एंड देन व्हेन द किड्स केम फ्रॉम स्कूल 3:45 आई टोल्ड माय एल्डर वन की बात कर लेना दादी से. दादी का पहला सवाल वही था, कितना थकी बेटा. खत्म हो गया.
Right.
तो वो चैलेंज है. मतलब so despite whatever you say to calm them, despite whatever you try and convince them, फोटो भेजो, वीडियो भेजो, कुछ भी भेजो, वो उनके दिमाग में भी जो चलता रहेगा वो चलता ही रहेगा, irrespective of whatever you might have
Mm-hmm.
said or done to help them.
Anyone else has any point on these expectations theme? Have you made a list of all the expectations or at least one expectation from each role? And to what extent you are fulfilling that expectations? It's just self-assessment. You're not questioning anything, just it's a mirror for us to reflect on. Maybe we have never reflected on it. Yeah, Arindam.
Before I leave, I always leave early. We are discussing or repeating two words in this session. One is role, other is expectation. So I'm leaving with a food for thought for everyone to think about. Are we playing to the expectation of the society? And that's the reason we are branching out to various roles. I mean, I would rather define the word role as a responsibility. That's my personal definition. I mean, definition for allowing others for touch and feel. Okay. Responsibility is the word for me. Am I responsible as a father? Am I responsible as a husband? Am I responsible as a son? Am I responsible as a good Samaritan? Or I am the way I am? Now, for me, in my personal life, I have played all the responsibilities and I am still playing the responsibility of a son. However, at the end of the day, I am content of or about being me as me only. Very frank, probably very rational, but that's it. I personally feel that one is absolutely akin to oneself when he or she is her or him in literal sense. However, we always have a tendency, we are programmed from childhood to give in to the expectations of others. वो क्या सोचेगा, वो क्या करेगी, वो क्या कहेगा, वो क्या होगा. वो. So when you point fingers at others, 3 fingers are pointed towards you. And I believe that those 3 fingers that is pointing towards you has been designed by Mother Nature to inculcate the feeling of क्या कर रहे हो यार? What are you doing to yourself? You're giving in to others. Yes, they're important, but those are your responsibilities. Of course, you play to the responsibility. However, your happiness is within you, and I am giving into that feeling. That's my take for life. Thank you.
Thank you. Are you leaving now? Your duty to your mother, responsibility, you have to take care of her. Okay, so you're shifting roles now. Okay, fine. You can go ahead.
I wanted to say something. So your question was that, like, when you asked us to rate, the first thing I rated was the second thing that you said, which is like what people expect out of you. So I had rated that first, and then I saw myself that how am I fulfilling. So I realized that yes, there are a lot of expectations from others about me, which is unsaid. I'm not fulfilling those as much as they expect me to fulfill, and I saw that I'm satisfied with whatever is being fulfilled because I'm not losing myself in that process. So yeah, I just answered yours. Yeah.
You mentioned about unsaid expectations. So if they are unsaid, how do you know they are expectations? So
sorry, Yogesh, I am taking a leave. I'm bidding adieu.
Sure.
I have to leave. Yeah.
Bye. See you next
nice,
time.
everybody. Nice interaction. Thank you.
Thanks, Sarindam.
Thanks.
I saw someone else had joined in between, but then he quit. Prachi. It was Devang anyway. So, Rupali, you mentioned unsaid expectations. So how do you know they are real?
Sometimes they've been vocal about it, and sometimes it's like as a daughter, because the society has conditioned, okay, this is the mark of a standard of a daughter. That's how you come to know that okay, this is an unsaid expectation. And when others give advices also, so we know that acha, this is expected.
So if you really reflect on our situation, we are actually living the life, as Arindam was also saying, with so many societal expectations. How ideal daughter should be, how ideal son should be, how ideal mother, husband, wife. There is no ideal. There is no such ideal. There is no constitution which says that, okay, all sons should behave like this, all daughters should behave like this, all mothers and parents and fathers should do X, Y, Z, point 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.1.1. Nothing is there like that. So how do we know what is societal expectation? I think it depends on our culture, how we are grown up in our family. In our family, it is different. In other religious conventions, it is totally different. The way children are brought up and they learn different expectations. So even expectations are also not the same. I think by the time we come to realize that something is wrong, we are too old. Sometimes we don't even realize that when we become old. But I think if we reflect, at some point we must realize that these are just expectations from a particular role, not from me. Is there a difference between me and my role, or they are the same? Raj, what do you think? Am I and my roles the same person, or I am different than my roles?
I think it is different inherently, but when you are engaged in the role, right, you forget it. Okay, there are many times, depends on what kind of situation, criticality it is, right? Sometimes when it is you're able to keep the distance, the role is different because it's going to change the very next time when you play something else. But when you are heavily engaged into it, right, you become that particular role. So it happens on both the counts.
Let me ask the question in a different way. Is there any time during the day or the week or the month where you're not playing any role, but you are you?
Um, I am me all the time, right? Because even though when you are playing a role, right, there is one context, one memory, one remembrance of what you are, right? So I am me is all throughout all the role. So there is a common thread there, at least in my case.
No, in the sense that I get some time for just being myself, not having to play any role. Like I am in the room. Let's say a simple example is I am in the toilet or I am in the bathroom. Nobody's there. At that moment, I am all alone. I am not a father. I am not a husband. I am not anybody. Right? That is the only time I get to be with myself. Nowadays, okay, we are living in nuclear families or we are living alone. So it's okay to get that more time. Some people live in joint families, there is hardly any time for that. So, my question is, do you find that time for yourself? When do you get it? Before sleeping, or if you wake up early, do you have some time for yourself where you haven't like got into a role? Chalo, abhi mujhe, I have to cook some food for the children. So I haven't become that mother, or I haven't gone to the office to play some role. Do you get that much time? Is there any time in your life for yourself as a role?
Not necessarily. Sometimes yes, on the weekends, but I think these days it's not the case.
Let's check with everyone else. Apurva, what do you think?
Before sleeping for some time, by 10-15 minutes. Otherwise, no.
Otherwise, which role you are always in? Mother.
Yeah. All the responsibility for this, are always for someone,
Yeah.
not for me. It's always for someone. Sometimes my parents are not living with me, still for them. My brother is not living with me, still for him. For always somebody.
Hmm. So before sleeping, you said you get some time. How
Yeah,
much time?
for something 10-15 minutes and not more than that. That is not every day. That is just
Okay.
sometime.
That also sometimes. And what do you do in that 10 to 15 minutes?
I can uh, I can be calm. I can listen music.
You listen to music.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, what goes on in your mind during that 10 to 15 minutes?
So with the music, I have to do something. I have to do why they are doing like that. That is there.
Yeah, so some background thing is still going on.
Yeah, still going on.
So that's not truly your own
No,
time.
it's not true. But I
Okay.
wanted that time, but still that things are going on.
What about you, Meenakshi?
Like everybody else, I have always struggled with time for myself, right? Because you're always in some role. But since past, and I love to read. I love to read. I like to paint or maybe learn some new skill. So since past 1.5 year, I have made it like how for role we are responsible. So I have kind of made it a sense of like, for a lack of better word, a sense of duty that every single day, doesn't matter if it's 5 pages or 10 pages or anything, I have to read, or if maybe I'm painting, then I have to like this. I have to do this, and during that time, like I intentionally, when I'm starting, like when I'm like, okay, now I have to read, intentionally I kind of start with, in a way, now nothing else exists, just this book and me. No work calls, or like I tell my family, parents and everybody, like, okay, uh, for next this duration, don't disturb me. So yeah, that, but then I've realized is you have to do it very consciously. You have to do it like it is one of the course, because otherwise if you're doing it, oh, it's me time, then you will find something or the other. No, this work is urgent or that work is urgent. So that's one. The second thing that I started doing at probably few months, I don't remember, is like I told you, I have joined Rupali's study circle. So one of the books that we were doing were Power of Now, where one of the exercises, as part of one of the exercises I started doing was, how when we are having lunch, especially during working hours, we just quickly grab anything and something is going on, maybe the next meeting or the next. What I started doing was, anyways, that half hour is lunchtime, right? So again, I go in this completely switch off zone where it's just me and food, and I like food. So it's just me and food. So that is the second thing, but that's just few months. The reading and art has been 1.5 years. But yes, you can't do it as optional. You have to make it mandatory. Like it's part of your checklist or to-do list during the day.
What difference has it made? Because you said you have just started it in the last 1 or 2 years and some things quite recently. What difference has it made?
It's like, how we get extremely stressed and overwhelmed, and then we go to vacation, we come back, freshen up. So it's like that that pocket you get to breathe. The entire work's responsibility, you're rushing one thing to the other. Either it's your work, or it's maybe you're running a chore or anything, right? So it's like that little break in the day is your mini vacation, and then you feel good. You feel like, okay, I got a time to breathe or to pause. And that's enough for you then to, take the next, because responsibilities won't stop.
Yeah,
But it's a good break to have.
I have very good point to this, but I'll come to that. Anil, I want to hear from you.
So, sir, before sleeping, I diagnose whatever scenarios I went through the day, and I look at what positives I got from it. I analyze that, and I think I can be a better person next day. So in that time, I think about myself, how I can improve, what mistakes I made in the day, what positives I got from the day. So at that time, I feel relaxed and complete over there.
You're analyzing your day, how it went, identifying the positives. I hope that doesn't give you any stress if you come across any negatives.
No, so I think that how can I balance positives and negatives the next day?
Okay. Good. Hope that's helping you. You find that exercise useful.
Yes, sir.
Interesting. Neetaji, how about you? When do you get your your time?
I get a lot of me time. I'm retired now, so don't have the responsibility. I don't have to go to work. So I get up early. So those morning 2 hours, then after completing the household chores, let us say 11:30 to 5:36, I'm having my own way, my own thing I can do. My father is always there, but still, it is not I'm not encumbered with trying. I don't have to care for him so much. He is his own person. So a lot of time I get. I do reading, I do painting. I like to cook, so I think about various dishes to make, and that is my, one release we can say. I feel very happy while doing all these things: reading, drawing, painting, cooking. A little bit of stress comes when it is time to sleep. The thoughts which are not stressing me in during the daytime, they come running, and that is the time when I feel ki no, I should do something so that these thoughts don't come. That is little. That is how where I will need to work on myself. But otherwise, I do everything whatever I want to do, whatever I enjoy, everything.
Excellent. Now, in the list of roles that you have, is there any role that you want to reduce, which is, it's causing a lot of issues? I want to reduce a role. I don't want to play this role anymore. I decided, last year, I decided my role as my vice president, says somewhere in some company. I don't want to play that role anymore. I decided to create my own role, so I cut off that role and I am creating a new role for myself. Is there any role like that for you which you feel
Now
is
that
not?
you are saying, yeah, now that you're talking about this, I feel there is no role for me which I want to reduce. But uh, when my family, my friends, everybody looks at me as an ideal, I don't want that burden.
Hmm.
I don't want them to look at me as ideal. I want them to look at me like a normal person who is making mistakes all the time. Accept me like that. Don't look at me की बाबा आमची ताई आहे, आमची मोठी बहीण आहे. That makes little bit burdenful.
Yeah, but you cannot change them. You cannot change them. So you are saying, in other words, you want to play that role differently.
Yeah,
That role you want to play differently, and it is possible. Whatever role is causing you stress is because of some of the expectations of others. Who has asked you to act accordingly? Maybe
nobody,
nobody else. Maybe at some
nobody.
point,
they hold me so high that I also or myself have to. I think that nahi, I should be even better.
Yeah. So you have created those expectations from yourself. And because you have decided that you want to play your role differently, you can.
Yeah.
You can be a different husband, you can be a different wife, you can be a different father, you can be a different mother. Who is stopping you? You can be a different customer, you can be a different vendor. Just play your role differently. Right? Other people will be surprised. What happened to you? Right? I ask you and you are going to say yes. Now you're saying no. So it happens. So this kind of change can happen if you spend a lot of time with yourself. You need to find a center, a place where you're not living from any role, particular role. If you're always living, our prime minister lives like a prime minister 24 hours. Who knows? He's always traveling, he's so busy. So we are not that busy. We can get our 5 minutes, 10 minutes, in fact, more than that. We should aim to get 1 hour in which we are not playing any role. No customer, no vendor, no son, no daughter, no wife, no husband, no father, no nothing. Can we discover that person within us? If we can, and then strengthen that, then you discover the real you, who you are. When you can do that, then you can transform all your other roles. You can be a different person totally. But it starts with you first. You cannot try to be a good mother without changing the way you are yourself. But we always try to change our roles rather than ourselves. Even when we are listening to music, it doesn't mean that we are our own role. We are actually thinking so many other things. We are actually blocking out ourselves. We are just trying to uh, not listen to ourselves, because the moment we are with ourselves, all our thoughts come in. Like Nita, when she is quiet and trying to go to sleep, all the thoughts come in. So give enough time, listen to all your thoughts, see what they're saying, and don't try to cover them up with some music or put yourself to sleep कि कल देख लेंगे. So go through that, find that space. If you can, I think that will make a big difference. So my invitation to you is that throughout 24 hours, you are you. Forget about all the roles. Don't take the pressure of roles. Just be yourself. Let your personality and your real person flow through those roles. That will make a big change. Otherwise, we are always, pressurized with expectations and, oh, I have to do this for them and that for them. Raj, what do you think? Siddharth?
Uh, yeah, I think from a point of view of a scenario wherein you don't have to be in touch with people through the day, right? We may still attempt to figure out, मैं कौन हूँ, मैं कहाँ हूँ, types कहानी, right? But in a scenario wherein have to be in touch with people, you have to be constantly working with somebody else through the day, it becomes slightly difficult for me to even shanti se khana, right? But I get what you're saying, in a scenario wherein you can get time for yourself without too much of a disturbance from anybody else, hopefully, that is the time when you can, you know, at least try to choose to be yourself and not be somebody else for some time, right? So I think that's what your message is. I think can be done, but yeah, the only point is how easy will it be for us to be able to, block out all the other thoughts that keep immediately coming back. That's a big trial and error thing that will have to happen. But yeah, fair point.
No, in fact, I am saying with people only, you can be yourself. That's, we are habituated to being somebody
Possible.
because you know
Possible.
what? When we grew up with our parents, we were a certain kind of personality. Now that has kind of solidified. So as soon as our parents are in front of us, we become that person
Correct.
as a son, or we are supposed to react like that. We try
Correct.
to make them happy by reacting or acting in a way which is familiar to them,
Correct. Fair.
which may be going against our. We have changed, we have changed, but we go that extra mile to just please somebody.
True.
And it sometimes becomes apparent when both our spouses know us as a different person. When both parents and spouse is there in the same room, it becomes a bit different to,
Correct.
how to, do I react like this? Do I react like that?
Correct. Correct.
So, that's because we are trying to please everyone. It doesn't work that way. So at some point of time, we have to expose our real personality to others. This is Baba, I have changed, this is what I am. So gradually let them get used to it. But then we have to make that effort there. In the short run, of course, people will say, क्या हो गया? Your friends में हम मिलते हैं ना. So if we meet our friends, hey, you have changed. You are not the same.
Correct.
Earlier,
तो
you
बदल
used
गए.
to drink with us. Now you have stopped drinking. So what's this?
Correct. Correct.
So, but you have decided to stop drinking. So you have to say, I am no longer drinking now. You take me as I am new person. And they will get used to it.
Correct.
But then you have to take that stand. So first you have to find who you are and what you want to stand for and what is yourself without the roles. And then live from there. You will start enjoying life much more. Apurva, what do you think?
Yeah, we have to work on that. I am thinking so many things, how to manage, how to do.
Yeah. Even though you are doing so much, is everyone happy? They will still want
No,
some more.
where I'm not doing so much, he is happy. My husband is happy. Where I'm not putting efforts and not, still he is happy. Where I'm doing much, they are not happy. It is there.
Stop doing that. They will also become happy.
Yeah.
Meenakshi, are you there? Or yeah, any views?
So I just mentioned, right, that I started doing that. So another thing that what I do agree with what you just said, because one of the big change that I saw is I wouldn't say stress goes away because there are deadlines, there are expectations, everything is there. But earlier, when you are just jumping from one role to another in terms of role to others, your responsibility, life seems it's easy to get overwhelmed. It's easy to um, also like somewhere your brain will come up with that's enough. I can't do it anymore and I need a break. But it's life, so we keep on shifting that. Okay, let me finish this first and then I'll take that break, or maybe uh, and there does comes a time where life becomes very overwhelming. But more importantly, life seems very unfair. You become very irritated and frustrated, and the thoughts like मैं कितना करूं, or things like that. But ever since I started this exercise, even if it's like I said in the start, when I started it, I do agree with what some people said was, you pick up a book, there will be, oh wait, did I pay this bill, or is there a meeting that happened? But you have to be, like I said, you have to make it another job for the day. And you have to consciously, slowly and slowly, there came a time where that time became where my brain just, okay, this is what we are doing. And I like to read, so it was a fun thing. But another thing, maybe as a it's something that I wasn't expecting, to be honest. One effect that I saw was duties were there, responsibilities, stress, all of it was there, but they became very less and life didn't seem that overwhelming. One, things didn't seem that unfair. Now when somebody asks me to do something, my first reaction is never how much will I do. Like that it life I I think if I want to put it in the best way, once I started uh, feeding into my needs, fulfilling somebody else's expectation, they didn't seem that unfair. Or I'm like, okay, I'll do it if I can manage. Stress is there if I can't, but it's okay. It's more like, okay, let's see, जितना होता है हो जाएगा. So that effect I have seen, not to a very greater thing because I am not giving a lot of time, but yeah, those little things. And also other people reacting where you see more calm or you see more happy, or, other people in similar roles reacting like, why are you not panicking, or like, what is happening?
So beautiful. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I think this angle of understanding the roles and the self is very important. If we are aware of what role we are playing in what situation, and what is going on in our mind, from which role it is pulling us, and if there is a conflict between two people, you can quickly find out the cause if you know which role is in the conflict. And when you know with clarity, you can solve it. Otherwise, it becomes an ego issue or a personality issue. When we leave that out and we look at things from a role perspective, then you are separate from the role. You can change the role, you can play that role differently. So many options become available to you rather than being identified with it. Right? So it's critical to find that space where you are not any role, so that you can strengthen that. You can always, if particular role becomes overwhelming, you can drop that role, no? Temporarily, at least you can drop it. You can pick it up again and then complete the responsibility. So this is quite important to do, and not many of us learn this in any school or um, college. Maybe we can even teach it to our near and dear ones. We can talk in terms of the role, but we can experiment. The more important thing is to be aware and experiment. Fine then. I think I have made the points, important points. I've tried to bring your attention to that for now. If you want, we can close the session. We can have some closing comments and then close it. How did you find the session? What was one thing that you really liked about it? What is your takeaway? Let's start with Neetaji.
Yeah. What I liked about it is the different ideas people have put forward. Though the thread is same, all of us, we have different take on all, these points. And another thing that I liked is that the core subject of this, that your roles. I have never thought about it like my role this, my role that. And this has opened my mind to think in that way and try to remove the stress from all the roles that I'm playing. I would definitely like to talk to you people again and again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Rupali.
So, this role thing had come to my mind earlier, and that's how consciously, I started putting efforts in. Fortunately, I don't have many roles to play, which also gave me a space to go more within myself. And what you're saying is exactly bang on, related to that. When we are able to consciously make an effort to grow closer to ourselves, then the outside naturally falls. So now what I observed within this time when I'm consciously making effort and going within, I also see the outside changing. I've also seen my relationship with my parents grow into more, much more harmonious than it was before. I also see that other people's view about me was different, and now gradually it is changing. Anyways, it doesn't make any difference to me, but I like the peace that comes with me being myself and not waiting for any validation. Not waiting, ki, okay, Rupali is this, seeking like seeking some validation from outside. That part has I cannot say completely gone, but yes, to a great extent, that transformation has started coming in. So yeah, thank you. Because this again, listening to others' viewpoints, I'm actually feeling grateful that I switched over from one role to another role. The major role similar to yours. I was completely preoccupied with my work, but now I think I'm very uh, peaceful with my decision. So yeah, thank you for all the conversations that we're having today.
Thank you, Rupali. Anil.
Sir, with this role scenario, I now understand when I watch a comedy movie on weekend. So while watching that movie, I forget all the roles and enjoy the movie. So I'm in no role while watching it. So I get out from stress through that. So I realized that scenario now why I was happier at that time and I was relieved from all my roles.
Great. So task for you is to watch more comedy movies. Great. Yeah, Sid.
So I think from a role perspective, yes, I think my takeaway here would be to kind of start looking more closely into the kind of role I'm playing at different points in time, and then try and figure out which ones are stressing me out more, if at all, or and maybe how do I get time out for myself to figure out the real me, and then hopefully become a better person. Yep.
Yes. It's very, very valuable to do that. I can promise you. To begin with, just awareness is good enough.
True.
Yes. Meenakshi, any final words?
I think my biggest takeaway from this is one line that Arindam said is that life is not all about touch and feel. Life is about living, or so yeah, that really stuck with me. And the other is regarding the roles, that we are not necessarily as trapped as we feel. Like, this is something, because when somebody was discussing, and the first thing that comes to your mind is, yeah, 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 but this is something that can be helped. I am a daughter, or I am this, or, you have to do it. So while, yes, of course, these roles are something that you have to do, but the way you do and the way you react can be changed.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of freedom that we need to experience. Otherwise, we feel caught up in our own actions and our own reactions. Great, then. Thank you so much. I loved all your comments. In fact, I also learned a lot from you. So hopefully, I'll see you again in one of my future sessions. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
evening.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Good
Thank
night.
you. Bye bye.